Hello everyone, it's June 1st, so we're going to do the June shop tour now. This is the 6th of the annual shop tours, monthly shop tours. I'm going to do 12 of them. Right now the shop is in a complete state of disarray. I've had some projects go on lately, but nothing on the shop. The shop is just an absolute bloody mess. I think the next thing I need to do in here is clean, but we'll start with the tour anyway. What you see here is a sander I picked up in aim of working on the floor, and some other tools that need to go up in the attic. In that bag, you see the top is sticking out as a house jack I'm going to use to repair the damage to the tree house. I got my bandsaw here. It's somewhat functional here and pushed against the right side, as many of my power tools are, but it's clearly in the way, and it blocks a lot of these drawers where I keep a lot of tools. Coming around here, you've got 2 buckets of treehouse stuff, my tool belt, and clamps that don't really fit anywhere else. That big tub there and the tools on top are table saw accessories, and here's the table saw covered in camping gear. That's about as much use as I can make of the table saw right now anyway. I'm having major problems with alignment of the blade, and according to my my little gauge that fits in the miter slot, the blade is twisted this way, but I can't physically move it. Rather, the blade is twisted this way, and I can't physically move it anymore this way, with the back of the blade moving to the left. So I think I might be reading the gauge wrong. I need to try some other methods of aligning it, because it's just off, and I'm having lots of trouble with that, but that's for another project. Back here, got the joiner. These toolboxes with screwdrivers of various sorts actually belong in that case back there, that rack hanging on the wall, but because that rack's so inaccessible, they're sitting here on the floor because sometimes I actually need screwdrivers. In that spot right there is a garbage pail. That spot right now is where the planer should go. You see the planer's out here. I used the planer on a couple of recent projects, so I had to pull it out. I'll have to push it back into that corner when I clean up. There on top of that bucket holds a lot of my clamps right now. The extension cords belong back there on those 2 hose reel pieces, but because of all those clamps, you can see the parallel clamps back there, I can't reach them, so I can't put them away right now. Again, the shop is just a complete mess. Here's my miter saw on the stand. This blue frame underneath it allows it to lock onto the, I think it's the Workbench. I can never remember the name of this thing. It is the benchmark, the benchmark table. I love the table, I can't remember the name. So that lets it fit onto the benchmark table. So we come around here, cases for power tools I don't have a home for right now. The Festool accessories, even those shelves are somewhat bare because it's so impractical to pull a case out, and because all these Festool cases, the lid opens up from the top, I have to pull it out and put it on a horizontal surface to use it, and I'm so short on horizontal surfaces that they often don't get put on there, because from the floor I can actually use the tools. Here's my bench filled with electrical accessories, my bench dogs, because I was working. I only have this end of the bench to do woodworking now, because that end is holding a project, and a dust adapter for the joiner, and mallets, and all sorts of mess. Back here are some more toolboxes. These are tools that I've actually had to use recently, my domino, sanders and things. I need to get them up off the floor and out of the way. There's a couple boxes of wood that I don't have a better home for. Behind them is some plywood, and I've got more plywood over here. This is T111. Those are scraps from the treehouse. There in those frames are the clear story windows for the treehouse. Those are fabricated now, almost ready to go in once I get back to the treehouse. The tracks for the track saw, my electrical toolbox, or tool bag for doing all the electrical outlets, and windows. That drill right now I don't have a good home for, so it's kind of floating around. It's sitting in that deep windowsill. It's as good a place as any. There you'll see scraps of the insulation. You can see the foil-faced insulation there and the standard polyester cyanurate insulation there. I think I'm done with the standard. I need to just get rid of it. The foil-faced, I have a little bit more trim to do in this stage of the project with the foil-faced, so I'm still keeping that around. There's more scrap plywood, scrap OSB. That device right there with the circles on it is it moves around like this. It was an earthquake machine for my son's science project. I think we're just going to have to toss it. Which is a shame because it's made out of nice plywood, but it's just big and in the way. Here's my chair leg test assembly. It was a great success in terms of its strength. unfortunately, right now, it's just, again, taking up space. As much as I would love to drop everything else and work on a chair, that's what I would really like to do now. There's just too much going on, and at this point, it's only taking up space. I may have to just toss it also, because I've tested the joinery. I know the joinery works, so at this point, I don't need that per se for any actual thing on the chair. There's some new legs for that Benchmark table. Benchmark was nice enough to send them to me to try out. I've yet to attach these legs. The allure of these legs is that the mechanism here is a bit more robust than the old one, which is what I have. But the old one, frankly, is just fine. Here's my Ghetto Work Center. This thing is still proving to be fantastic. I've got a sculpted project here, and sand platens and sanders and stuff in use kind of there. It makes using it very helpful to have the hose swing around like this, but right now the floor space this thing takes up is just really at a premium. This long piece here was actually a mock-up for Pinewood Derby cars, but unfortunately this half-inch plywood, this center section, is too tall, and the bottom of the car rubbed on it, so I wasn't even actually able to use it, so I think I just got to toss that. Here we've got scraps of wood sitting on the planer. And then back to this front corner is all scraps of 1x6, rough sawn lumber, plywood, just scraps of everything. Some of the new OSB, some scraps of plywood. I need to clean all this out. So if I walk outside, turn around and get a shot going in. There's the shop right now. So the next phase, I think, is going to be just cull through this side and clean up all the stuff that doesn't belong here. Take the camping stuff out, put that sander up in the attic where it can go. Those pieces of wood underneath the sander are a tree house that I made for Cub Scouts. I had to make 6 or 7 of them, and one of them didn't get used, so I think I'm just going to toss that. I don't need it. I need to go through here and aggressively get rid of things because it's just filled up with crap. And then on this side, I kind of need to do the same thing, but finish sorting through this. And what I'd managed to do in terms of the electric, if I come back here, is that outlet, you can really come around this way. That outlet there is the last outlet that's wired. Now these are all wired to the wall but not connected to the panel yet, so I'm still running off that one stupid panel. But what I need to do is abandon using the shop for anything and take this back section here around and behind the bench, and even here, this little gap on what is the back side of the bench, but functionally is the front side of the bench since I got crap in the back. And just pack this full of everything so that the wall from here to the front, excuse me, so that the wall is accessible. And then I need to get back to the electric and finish the electric because I keep putting the shop project on hold. And once it gets put together, it's going to be so much more useful, and I won't be making temporary projects. I'll be making real projects in the shop, and each one will get more things put away and out of the way, and it's going to become a very useful space. So right now I spend more time in the shop just moving crap around and coming up with an ad hoc way to make something work, and not being very productive. So that's really where I stand right now, is I'm going to take a step back and focus on the electric in the shop. Hopefully, I will have the electric done by the next video. I'm not naive enough to say I will, but that is my goal, and hopefully I'll come close or meet that goal. So for June of 2013, that is the penultimate shop tour. I'll see everyone next month.